A slightly different arrangement at the start. It's a throw-in rather than a throw-up. And we're off. This will be fast and furious in the opening stages as Scotland try and take this game to the Irish in the early stages. The tactic surely has to be to try and get an early strike. We'll take you through the scoring as the match develops. It's all on this as a second test, but the series hangs in the balance. It's there for any. This is certainly winnable, Fraser, for both teams.
Absolutely, and here's our first opportunity with the wind. Kevin Bartlett at Caberfay's got an opportunity to try and put this between the posts from here.
Now the situation is that from the ground he could get 2 points if this goes over the bar and between the posts, and that's not a bad effort from Kevin Bartlett, who was a bit of a revelation in his first match last week. No score, a good effort though.
Yeah, I think it did. I think it did go over. I think we've got the 2 points.
Well, it looks there is some doubt. It's actually been confirmed that Bartlett has struck with a 2-pointer. It didn't look to me as if it had gone over. However, it's all history. The referee has given that. It's a great start from Bartlett from that distance, and maybe just an indication that the wind is going to play a big role in this game. But this is where the answer lies. The huge hitting of the Irish into the heart of the Scottish defence. Lovely touch. There's one touch too many there, and the Scottish defence out en masse here. Important that they hold the advantage. The early advantage they've taken with Kevin Bartlett's 2-pointer. So, from midfield, you'll find that when the ball goes over the touchline, instead of taking a hit in as you would normally do in Shinty, it's effectively a free hit from the ground. Norman Campbell, the captain, with a huge hit. And again, the Irish, well, this could be the tactic to keep the Irish playing out to the side. They've launched it up. John Barr goes in, the distinctive Barr with the yellow boots and the long hair. However, he's second best this time. Second best, although he's stuck with it. First chance to Rice, the captain, the Irish captain. He's off and running. What wonderful skill. And from open play, well, that's a wide. That's a wide. Michael Price, great skill. This is what they're up against.
Yeah, quality hurler from Kilkenny. That's they did the right thing there, Scotland. If you can try and push the hurlers into wide areas, it cuts the angle down and makes it a lot harder for them to shoot. And with the formation Scotland have got at the back, with an extra man at the back, that should help us.
Well, it's a great start for Scotland. 2 points to the good. Just a note there, John McDonald for William taking a knock on the chin, and there will be plenty of wood flying about. This is the sort of thing that we're going to see. Just a loose stick there. The players do take time adjusting to this, Fraser. It's inevitable because the Irish haven't done it largely. It must be difficult for them just to walk into this kind of pressure.
Yeah, the tempo of the game, it's much higher tempo than a normal Shinty game. You know, the ball's all over the park all the time, so you really need to be up for the game. You need to try and keep your discipline, and if you can, it's very hard to keep composure, have a disciplined formation right from the start.
Here we go. The go faster stripes. It's not David Coulthard, it's our friend Mr. Innes, who has invested or stolen or borrowed or begged for his new helmet. He was sporting a red and orange number last week.
I believe he's bought a new Shinty stick before the game, which he's nicknamed the Big Dog, which he hopes to get his points from distance with. You'll notice that when he gets the opportunities, probably Drew McNeil or Kenny Ross will come on with that stick for him to try and take his chances.
Well, I think John McDonald's day is done. He's having to leave the field. Whether he'll go off as a blood injury and come back, I hear my dukes.
Andrew Corrigan's coming on to take his place. Andrew Corrigan from Glenurquhart.
Well, Andrew Corrigan is a pacey player. The difference between him and John McDonald is one of experience. However, Gary Innes now has a chance. A good chance now, directly in front of goal. There are 2 points on offer here to get this over the bar. What a start that would be for Scotland in the first 5 minutes. Innes launches it long and high, but wide. Well, the secret of this, Fraser, is that you must take your chances.
Yeah, we've seen it last week. Scotland had plenty of opportunities to take points and didn't quite take them. The conditions were the main factor in that. It was so wet and windy and the long grass, but it should be a bit better today.
No long grass at the Bught, and look at this, firewood all round. The sticks being shattered there. A couple of hurls and a slack ball in midfield. The Irish captain's having to retreat. And here's Eoin Price. The Scots defenders moving in twos and these. Here's a good chance. John Stewart through, and the keeper, John Stewart. Oh, there wasn't too much in that. If he could have reached out. There's another Irish stick broken in defence there. Here's Corrigan again. But this time Kieran DeVilly of Kildare gets the ball away. And Michael Rice, the Irish captain, having to go back, and a push in the back. A shove. And as we saw earlier, no prisoners taken in the under-21 match, but this was a good chance, Fraser.
Yeah, a great opportunity. Finlay McRae playing the ball up, a wee touch through. John Stewart maybe should have jumped in there and tried just to clatter into the goalie at the same time.
Meanwhile, you can't take your eye off this for any of the 80 minutes. The game extended this year by 10 minutes. And I would think that by the end of it, they will all know they've been in it. Good ball from the Scottish midfield, again cut out by the big Irish hurl. It's so easy for them to bring the ball down, and again the arms round the tackling. The tackling last week was a problem, Fraser. The Scottish boys were feeling they were being...
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think the referee let a lot go. It is in hurling, you know, that they can hold on, and they did let it go a lot last week. But I think Dave Mitchell hopefully won't. He'll keep an eye on it this week, and Scotland will maybe get the freeze when they get held.
Wouldn't try any of what you're seeing at home. Oh, it's a goal! Well, McRae from midfield, goodness me, from absolutely the centre of the field. This is a tremendous blow.
I've never seen a goal scored like that in a Shinty hurling match from that distance. Seen the goalkeeper there just tried to tip it over, but just the height it was at. A fantastic goal there from Finlay McRae.
Well, you take them, you get them. It's a goal to Finlay McRae of Kinlochshiel from the middle of the field. That's a bonus, surely. Scotland couldn't have expected a goalkeeper of Dermody's experience to make a hash of that, but maybe the wind caught it, who knows. That's the deficit. That's the deficit in points, and Scotland now effectively level in terms of the aggregate score, although the Irish lead by virtue of their win last week. I know it's horribly complicated, but the easiest thing would be to have a clear victory today. We're hoping we don't have to reach for the calculators at the end of it.
Yeah, Scotland really need to look at their organisation at the back. This is something I noticed last week, that they weren't picking up men, they were sort of picking up areas, and you've got to be very careful when you're doing that. You end up with 2 or 3 men getting drawn towards the ball and leaving spare men, so they've got to make sure Norman Campbell as a captain's organising them at the back.
Campbell's effectively playing as a spare player here in the middle of the defensive line for Scotland. Here's a chance for the Irish again. Number 14, Murtagh. Again, this tactic the Scots have of using 2 defenders. Every time an Irishman gets a ball, they're all over them. And again, this tackle. The Irish players obviously having difficulty, Fraser, in adjusting to the fact that they can't put their arms round the Scottish players.
It is part of their game. Scotland got another opportunity here. Yeah, it's from same again, just too physical all over him. Gives us another opportunity here from a wide area, and if Scotland can keep the scoreboard ticking over, then they should be okay.
This time it's Corrigan who's going to have a blast. Bartlett it was, sorry, it's Kevin Bartlett. My mistake, as we get a hang of the substitutes coming.
Another 2 points.
That's another 2. That's another 2 points from the dead ball. And this is exactly what Fraser was talking about.
Keep the scoreboard ticking over. He's a player that's really impressed me, Kevin Bartlett. A fantastic talent.
Bartlett from the famous Caberfay club in Strathpeffer. Long time since they've had an international player making their mark. And this young fella certainly has. Tough tackling in the corner. This time David Mitchell, the referee, says a push in the back this time. Ooh.
It's quite a tough one to call that, because you've got to go into tackles like that. But maybe the right decision at the end. It was a great ball there by Finlay McRae. He's been dropped back into defence, and he's doing exactly what I'd hoped he would do, get the ball into the wide areas.
McRae again in midfield. Stepped into the shoes of big Neil McPhee, whose work has taken him away. There's Ian MacDonald in Butte, who was unavailable last week. And, you know, having somebody like Ian MacDonald to step into the squad, an indication of some strength and depth in some areas, although we're inexperienced in Scottish terms in some others, Fraser.
Yeah, Drew's brought a lot of new boys in, and they've done very well. But Ian MacDonald from Butte, he won the man of the match the first year I was manager over in Kilkenny. He was fantastic. So a perfect man to come into the side today.
His father Ted was one of the coaches for the under-21 squad, which was on this very field earlier and lost 17 points to 8 to the Irish. The game ran away slightly from the Scottish under-21 squad. But they acquitted themselves well till half-time, but then the game slightly ran away from there. John MacDonald, he's taken a sore one on the lip. He won't be back, unfortunately, it would appear. The rolling subs, you will see the substitutes coming and going from the middle of the field, which is a challenge to us all. Ireland just struggling with the pace of the game, I think, and maybe the surface. Is the grass too short, basically?
Well, I think it certainly it won't suit them. It suited them better last week, but I think the tactic that Scotland have got with the spare man at the back, it crowds them out and restricts them to shooting from distance, which doesn't suit the Irish.
Good long hitting from McIntosh, the Scottish keeper, who's making full use of the wind. Here again, the Scots breaking forward. John Stewart to the left. Again, it falls to Stewart, who's now an old hand, and he's great effort! What a save! What a save by Dermody of Kildare, and the goal from John Stewart. We'll take a look at that again. That was goalkeeping of the highest order, Fraser. What a save!
A cracking save. It came exactly the same from a wide area into John Stewart. Looked it was going in the top corner. Oh, great save from the goalkeeper. And now another opportunity for Kevin Bartlett from a wide area.
To be fair to Dermody, he got it onto the bar. And here we go again from the touchline. Keep our beady eyes on this one. 7 points to 0, the Scots lead. This time it's into the danger area, not taking the points. It's still live. The ball's there. Another great save. Goodness me, another great save by the Irish keeper. The Scots forward, still pushing forward. A flying save by Dermody, who's kept the Irish in it with 2 great saves within a minute. The Irish backline under siege at the moment. The Scottish wind advantage beginning to tell at the moment, but they need to take their chances. Dermody using his back to Villy, who's put it back into the middle, which wasn't a clever move. This time it's Graffin. Good skill and a big hit. Big hit. John Barr's under it. And gets it away again up the left-hand side. Scots moving the ball forward as quickly as they can. John Stewart. Well, this man is keeping Ireland in the game at the moment, Fraser.
Yeah, another good opportunity. Came out, broke out, and Sean Nicholson it was. Another great save.
Meanwhile, the other end, the Irish move it up. And again, this extra man, Ian MacDonald from Butte, this time driving forward. And cleverly, well, he cleverly held on to the ball there. He knew the Irishman was coming in from behind. Clever play by an experienced player.
Yeah, he did well to draw the foul there, just shield the ball and win the foul. And now hopefully we can get the ball in a wide area again and get another opportunity. You'll certainly get the distance from Norman Campbell.
Now, Norman Campbell is well into his own half here. It's not inconceivable that he'll land this on the goalkeeper. Off it goes, off it goes, down it comes, and it's just wide. Well, that's extraordinary hitting.
Yeah, Norman Campbell, I remember him at the Bught here before in an international, hitting him from these distances. He has got it in his game. He's a fantastic hitter of the ball.
Doesn't seem like just 6 or 7 weeks since he was here, picking up the Camanachd Cup as man of the match. He must be wondering what he's to do here with nobody to mark, but it's another story. It'll suit him fine. Bartlett down the wing again. Better clearance, the Irish in trouble with their footwear as well. Just 1 or 2 of them going down on the slick turf. That's the Buck Park hand in the back there. David Mitchell lets it go though. Again, testing. Here's Campbell. See the spare man, gives him time. Again, 3 Scots round the Irish. This is good skill though from Bergen. Bergen lets fly and wide. You can't take your eye off them.
No, it's another good opportunity. He's got plenty of experience, Joe Bergen, of the international series. You'll notice Ireland have done the same. They've got Brendan Maher Tipperary is in at half back, and he's a spare man, so Scotland need to get the ball wide and keep it away from him.
Maybe here just a hint that the Irish are missing the man who put all the points on the board last week. It's a good ball into the danger area, but the Irish lying very deep here. No pressure on McIntosh as he gets the ball away. This time it's Brendan Maher from Tipperary. And again it's Campbell with plenty time. Very deliberate. Getting the ball out, and again good cover in midfield. The Scottish midfield working their socks off at the moment. Norman Campbell is steadying the ship. Midfield, the Irish have the spare man, but being used to no great effect, I have to say, at the moment. It's a much better tactic in Scotland's favour, and that's a good ball from McRae. He launches it again, just overrun by John Stewart, unfortunately, there. And again, Innes. Gary Innes almost getting to it there. Bartlett. Scotland defending from the front, but gradually the Irish getting to grip with the game now. Some big swinging, McRae. Play just being bogged down in the middle at the moment. Scotland need to open it up. Oh, and a kick. Now there's an example of just what he would have done, isn't it? It's a natural thing for the Irish player to reach out with his foot and kick it away. Yeah,
it was instinctive for the Kieran DeVilly there, but he's got plenty of experience in these games. He shouldn't be doing that, but he's now given Kevin Bartlett another opportunity to keep this scoreboard ticking over.
Well, Bartlett, we have the perfect view of what he's trying to do. Get the ball over the bar, between the posts would give him 2 more points. Teeing the ball up, getting as much elevation as he can. Off it goes, that's a beauty. Oh, off the post, off the post. That was unlucky. That was curving away. We were in perfect position there to see that one just drift to the left. So it's a chance gone, though. That would have been a useful 2 points. I know that's a wild slash. A wild slash there by Daniel Cameron. He could be in trouble for that, Fraser.
Yeah, he just the boy was running through there. Brendan Maher was running through there, and he's just taken him out to stop him getting any further. He's still got a bit of distance, but he's a player that really impressed me in the game last week. Daniel Cameron. He's got experience at under 21 level and has stepped up well.
This is how Bartlett hit the post. Unlucky. Good effort from way out. Now, however, the Irish have a chance, and it's Willie Highland from Laois from midfield.
This is where the Scotland player wants to be charging him down. As soon as he picks that ball up, he wants to be charging him down and throwing himself in front just to try and put him off.
It's as simple as that. And no charge offered that time. And again, wide. Now, the Irish will be very disappointed not to have taken points there.
Very, very disappointed. Over in Kilkenny, we had the likes of Sean O'Gahalpin from Cork taking threes, and we did this very well where we charged them down. And they mentioned after the game it was the Scotland players putting them off because they weren't used to that type of play.
So midway through the first half then, 40 minutes, remember, each way this time. Scotland lead by 7 points to 0, 1 goal and 4 points. Finlay McRae's goal. Let's put them in the driving seat at the moment. On a poor effort there. Poor effort by the Irishman. I think he's looking for a second attempt, but he's not going to get one. I think, is he? David Mitchell has reversed that one. That's been reversed by the referee, and I don't think the Irish were too happy with that. Brendan Mayhat tried to get the ball into play. Well, here's David Coulthard's helmet. Underneath it is Mr. Innes for 2 points. Keeps it in play. However, well, that's kind of halfway and in between there.
Yeah, a bit of a wasted opportunity. I'm not sure whether maybe he mishit the ball there, but you know, you want to be going for the 2 points from there.
Changing his stick. Maybe that was the difference. Norman Campbell steadying the ship again. Some of the Scottish challenges, a bit like John Barr. Now this is, to be honest, a silly foul to give away.
Yeah, it is a daft foul from John there. I would have expected better from him there. He was just all over, just exactly what the hurlers should be doing. You would never expect that of a Shinty player. So this is a weak free, and it's given them an opportunity, and Finlay McRae in front here has to charge this down.
It's Willie Highland again from Laois. David Mitchell taking McRae back, and he's fired it through. Well, that's wild and wide. Again, Highland. That's the second golden opportunity for the Irish to get into the game.
They're not going to be happy with that. It's a perfect opportunity for Willie Highland. I remember a teammate of his, James Young from Laois, who was a scourge of Scotland from these positions, and they'll be upset that they're not taking advantage of these.
Well, Highland himself will know he should have converted at least one, if not both of these. Maybe just the Scottish charging down is not best set. Here's a good chance though for Scotland, driving forward, plenty men in the middle, and it's a goal! Although the referee, I think there's a kick here. Roddy McDonald has been pulled back. No score.
Keith McRae it was that when he was driving in there, kicked the ball, just squared it across, and they managed. Oh no, it was Roddy McDonald. There was a kick before that as well, so it was a double kick, so quite rightly stopped. Good
Decision by the referee. And Scotland's new National Player of the Year just about crowned. A great weekend there, because that could have put Scotland well away. Meanwhile, an Irishman is looking for some more kindling in the middle of the field. Well, that was a good decision. There were actually 2 kicks here, Fraser.
Yeah, there was. I mean, it was a great opportunity, but he just caught his foot in the way in. But Scotland must be happy. Drew McNeil and his coaching staff will be happy with the way things have gone so far. Although I'd like to see more of the wide balls and keep the ball away from the halfback.
Well, he's pacing around, the manager. He knows he could have been even further ahead now, and he knows he's living on some pretty wasteful Irish finishing at the moment. Here's McDonald again, struggling to get into the game a bit, Kyle's man. The Scottish midfield controlling the game. but that's the kind of slack ball you can't give away. And again, look at that, 3 Scottish shirts round the Irish attacker. I can't see that particular tactic not changing after. There's MacDonald again. A rash challenge by MacDonald on his opposite number, David Kennedy of Kildare.
He's got to have 2 hands in the stick, which he did there. That's not a foul. I wouldn't see that as a foul. If he had 1 hand in the stick, it would have been.
And again, a long blast of David Mitchell's whistle in midfield. Just getting the game losing its shape just a bit after 25 minutes. Here's Mr. Campbell again. He'll fancy a go at this. Incredibly. Plenty height, not enough distance. Plenty of people underneath it though, and it's the keeper who's allowed to pick it up, as you'll notice, Paul Dermody. He's allowed to pick it up and get it away. Again, the Irish, an Irish foot being used, but Dermody at the moment is my pick of the Irish players because he's standing firm and he's actually, it's worked in Scotland's favour because Norman Campbell has moved 10-15 yards forward. Better chance?
Yeah, they're certainly putting the goalkeeper under pressure. I think the wind might have dropped slightly, but Norman should still have the distance from here.
Hitting towards the Inverness town end. Again, he's got too much height in it, but it gives the Scottish forwards time to get in underneath. John Stewart tries to get it back in. Here's Gary Innes. The Irish have kept him quiet this afternoon so far. Back it comes. Here's Innes again. Beginning to wander a bit from his midfield position. And again, he's all arms and legs, isn't he? You don't want to give away fouls in that area.
And I didn't think there was a great deal in it, to be honest. The player was just sort of backing in. He was just trying to get round him. Not a great deal in that.
Midfield again. The Scottish standing firm, Daniel Cameron. He has been impressive, Cameron, apart from that slight indiscretion. The Irish coaches looking to make a change here. They're not going to leave it too long. It's interesting they're going to change before half-time, but here, look at all this space. This is a chance now. Scotland have to be very, very careful here. That's good defence and a bit ambitious with a big swing. That's better. Ian MacDonald. That's why he's there. And again, Bartlett. Oh, just a slack swing. Well, no prisoners being taken here, Fraser.
Yeah, he just swung across him there. He just bit of a silly foul to give away there.
20 yards.
And just a little bit of argy-bargy here.
It seems to be part of their game, just a wee bit of pushing and shoving. There's not a great deal to be taken from that.
Now the Scottish players are allowed to charge here, but the Irish player can't block them. Bartlett doing his best to get there. A difficult rule, that one. The Irish have obviously worked out that you can stop them. John Barr goes down. Turned in McIntosh, has to look sharp. That's a great clearance by the keeper. That's what you want your goalkeeper to do. Good confident clearance, that.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience in these. He's got something like 5 under-21 caps as well, so he's very used to the rules. In fact, too used to the rules. He caught the ball for Glenappert this season and gave away a penalty.
Gary Innes coming off, Robbie McLeod going on, the rolling substitutes. That doesn't mean Innes is away for good. He'll be back. But just a change there to freshen the legs in midfield. And that's all part of this game, using your full squad. We'll see all the Scottish and all the Irish players coming on. And again, McLeod busy in midfield. Roddy MacDonald looking for John Stewart, but it breaks to De Villy. trouble here because MacLeod closed them down. But again, John Doran from Kilkea launches another beauty. Flash of the arse there, backhand, another broken stick, and Barr gets it away. And there's a free Scottish shirt here. Corrigan to Stewart, couldn't quite turn it. 10 minutes left of this first half then. You'd be looking to Scotland to protect this or add to it, Fraser?
They've got to add to it. It's with the wind in the second half, Ireland will come right back into this game. They need more points without a shadow of a doubt.
We'll leave the niceties of the scoring till later as it becomes apparent how this game is going, but I think Scotland are planning more changes. Drew McNeil obviously not happy with the conversion of possession into points. This is Ian MacDonald this time moving forward. Bartlett. De Villiers got a handle on him for the time being. Takes it for a wander. Again it breaks back. John Stewart outnumbered this time. McRae. Oh, too ambitious in the middle of the field there, and he's played them into trouble. Norman Campbell stepping in, but McRae does his best to tidy up, and Barr finishes the job. Good teamwork, and John Stewart gallops after it. Graffin turns, almost puts the ball out, and unfortunately for Scotland, it's an Irish ball.
That was a great ball by John Barr, right down into the corner there. That's where you want these balls to be going. The pacey wingers getting the ball and cutting them across into the forward line.
Sorley McDonald of Skye comes on. And it's number 13, Keith McRae, comes off. As we make use of the subs, the Irish not quite showing their hand in terms of the substitutions yet. Another great long hit. The Scottish hitting with the wind has been a huge asset this afternoon. Now this is a good chance. The ball has gone out of play on the far side. Roddy MacDonald making a nuisance of himself, and it's Bartlett again. This is a look from behind Bartlett from the main stand in the Bught Park. Might fade this. He'll fade it with the wind. He'll try and hit it past the goal so that it drifts in. That's exactly what he's done. And that's gone in. That's another two-pointer to Kevin Bartlett.
Yeah, Kevin Bartlett's doing exactly what he's been told. Hitting the points, he's fantastic at it, very skillful, very accurate forward.
Well, that's a great bonus again as we head for half-time. The ball fading beautifully. Going exactly where he wanted it after 33 minutes. Scotland lead by 1 goal and 6 points to 0. It's looking very good if they can protect this, if they can get to half-time with a clean sheet. I'm sure everybody would be happy. A whole posse of Scottish defenders there. MacDonald, Sorley McDonald through to John Stewart, who's free. Oh, and wide. Should he have taken it down and walked on?
Well, he had the opportunity. He also had Kevin Bartlett coming in behind. You'll see here a great through ball, a great touch from Sorley McDonald. Oh, an opportunity. He needed to be taking that.
Well, he had a blast, John Stewart. You can't blame him for that. You can't blame him for having a go. That would have made a different, completely different complexion on the score if he had managed to get that. And again, the charging of the free hit.
That's 20 yards, so he wasn't 20 yards. He got away with that.
Well, as a Lochcarron man,
It's 20 yards, guys. 20
you'll be
yards.
happy to see Mark Sproul coming on.
I was a Lochcarron man. I've seen Mark Sproul hit the ball over the bar many's a time, so this game will probably suit him better than Shinty.
Okay. Fraser Mackenzie is no longer a Lochcarron man. We'll set that one aside for another day. Oh, the clash. And again, McRae, who's having a stormer in midfield. Number 7, Finlay McRae. Our goal scorer so far. He's got the goal of the 9 points, and that's, well, just a bit of that. That is a rash challenge again in a dangerous area.
Yeah, he was turning him there, and Finlay just came in, just put the shoulder into him. It's given away a free. But again, you know, they've not done very well with the frees so far. So we need a player here just to rush down Willie Highland. They've obviously taken the decision to try and block off the player that's going to rush him down.
Norman Campbell is on the line with the keeper, just in case it doesn't make the distance. It's long, it's high, it's straight, and it's good. It's good. At long last, Highland gets on the score sheet. The first points for Ireland, a good conversion.
Yeah, that's just what they needed, Ireland. They needed to get some points on the board here. Highland just got it in between the posts there. Again, there was no player trying to rush down. They should have tried to get round and still try and rush him down, even with a player blocking him off.
And that's a single point to Ireland, of course, because he did double touch it. He rolled it back.
Number 18, the pair of you, 20 yards.
And again, the referee
Right,
struggling.
okay now.
Struggling with this rule of the charge. Ireland blasting it up the middle again, and that's a great tackle by Barr. Great tackle, great timing. But the ball, unfortunately, up the middle. You want to stretch the Irish, because here they come again. Front of goal, trying to create an opening, and look at that, another 3 dark blue shirts, and Barr, the Highland Raider with the long hair and the socks round his ankles. It's a curious combination, but it works. The heart of the Scottish defence. Barr's having a better game than he did last week, I think, because he's stuck to the task. He was just a bit loose with some of his tackling last week. But this is another chance for Ireland. It's Brendan Mayer from Tipperary keeping it in play this time. Brave Scottish defence there. Here we go again, the great running with the ball and the hurl. The only way to stop it's from head on, really. This is Mr. Barr in the middle of the field. Socks round the ankles.
Yeah, he doesn't like shin pads in the international. John's played actually a lot of hurling himself at university, and that's probably why he's not wearing shin pads.
Here we go again then. Mayer from Tipperary lobs it into the heart of the defence. Plenty Scottish sticks being thrown at it, and wide. Again, good Scottish defence, Fraser. Yeah,
they crowded it out there. That's just what they needed. The ball got dropped in there. Actually, a good hitting from the wide area there, and just crowded it out. That's exactly what they needed to do. Norman Campbell as a spare man there, coming in and doing well.
There are 2 minutes or thereabouts left of this first half. Scotland leading Ireland by 9 points to 1. 1 goal and 6 points to a single point. They managed to keep the Irish to. This is a good ball, dangerous ball. The Irish keeper deals with it well. He's had a quiet spell, Dermody, from his 2 sensational saves that kept Ireland in it. Good pressure over on the far side. The Irish get it away. Last time it was McLeod. Robbie McLeod of Kyle's got his stick to it. That's Norman Campbell. He's got all day there as the spare man. And Neil MacDonald almost gets it up the wing. Again, look at the 2 Scots. This is great play by De Villiers, taking it all the way up and delivering it to his forwards. Get it across. McIntosh has to be quick. McIntosh and Barr, the 2 Glen men. They get it back out, but it's Bergen, the danger man from Offaly. Flicks it across, but he's put too much in it. Robbie McLeod. Oh, and a mistake by McLeod here. But a good tackle again by Scotland. Sorely MacDonald could have done better with that. Another chance for the Irish. Up it goes. That's wide, but is it too long? They've kept it in play. Oh, and they've turned it into a goal. That's a fantastic strike out of absolutely nothing. The Irish have struck back.
Yeah, Kieran DeVilly did well to push forward, put it right to the back post, and Joe Bergen's there for the finish. Exactly what Scotland didn't want to happen, the worst time for it to happen. They really need to pick themselves up now.
Well, take a look at the clock. It's exactly 40 minutes, and Joe Bergen has thrown the Irish a lifeline with a goal. Now, you wouldn't bet against the Irish getting another strike before half-time because they've pulled themselves back to 9-4. And that's exactly what they've done. That's exactly what they've done. More points for the Irish from open play. And Drew McNeil is not a happy man. 9-4. Clock ticking, and David Mitchell has told the Irish we're in injury time. We've played a minute of injury time. Back in from Scotland. Oh, and again it's Dermody. And that's points. That's points for Scotland. That's another. That's Bartlett again. This is Bartlett from the touchline this time. And I think the goalkeeper gets a stick to it. It might have hit the bar, but it's gone through. So it's 11-5 to Scotland. 11-5 to Scotland, we make it. We'll just check these scores, but this is the tackling. And I think the referee's watch has gone somewhere.
Number 3 and 13 back with me. Back with me. No obstruction, okay.
2 minutes of injury time have been played, and the Irish launch another one. McIntosh gets a stick to it, but the flag is up. It's offside. That was offside. The player was in before the ball, Fraser.
Yeah, looks like an offside decision, yeah. Correct decision, you can't really see there, but yeah, the players come into the box.
And David Mitchell brings the first half to an end. It's been scrappy, it's been tousy in parts, it's been good in other parts, and there has been some very, very tough tackling. You can see on the players' jerseys, the blue Scottish jerseys this time playing from right to left into the face of a stiff breeze. Scotland lead by 11 points to 5. And it's all to play for.
I would have to agree with Fraser Ingles. I think that Ireland are probably have the upper hand now with this win.
Oh, and the throw in, not quite reaching the middle of the pack of players. Gary Innes back in the midfield. He sends a good ball through to Roddy McDonald. Roddy McDonald, an early strike would be good for Scotland. John Stewart. Stewart this time lifts it from open play. That's a point to Scotland, I think. John Stewart. That the flag is raised. Cleverly saw where he was there. No,
I think it took a deflection. Took a deflection, so it's a corner and it'll come back out for the free.
Well, the flag was raised, interestingly, but that seems to have been an indication of where. Let's have a look at it again.
Over here, Gary.
Yeah, just a deflection off John Stewart, trying to knock it over the bar. And here's the big dog again, getting another opportunity to hit over from distance.
The big dog, for those of you who didn't catch it earlier, is Gary Innes' stick, rather than any reference to the player. Here he goes, against the wind this time, keeps it flat. Well, that's easy meat for the Irish, because they have plenty of men on the line. And again, a silly, that's just giving the ball away.
Okay, well, you went to the rack, the V hit, they've done it for the reaction, okay?
Sean Nicholson, Lochaber. Just no need for that, Fraser.
Yeah, I think the player was just holding on to the stick again. Not a great deal in it.
They don't want pressure like this because the Irish will launch every possible attempt now with the wind, and they know they've got the wind. They've probably been waiting to take advantage of it. It's a good ball though from McRae, the evergreen John Stewart. Clever play. Now, that's what I was talking about. Brendan Mayer, Tipperary, flick through. It's Norman Campbell. Makes sure. Scotland using the left-hand side. Good touch. Keith McRae gets it through, but Roddy MacDonald doing his bit. Keith McRae also picking up an award last night, North Division 1 Player of the Year. Norman Campbell just lets that one drift.
Keith McRae's he's actually probably the best player in the game at defending from the front. You'll notice that he's got a great engine in him and he'll defend very well from the front. There's no such thing as a lost cause when it comes to him, and he's a great player when it comes to these internationals. He's won the man of the match at under 21, and I'm glad to see him back in the park again.
Norman Campbell will need all of his awesome power. Keeps it flat so that the wind doesn't take it away. It's just Scotland trying to be a bit ambitious lifting the ball. Here's Bught. He gets a good place to put it out to the wing. Again, the Irish picking up every loose ball now, firing it back with interest. Neil MacDonald from Lochaber with Bught. And a lot of jerseys and tugging. Down below us, the Irish coach, Joe Dooley. Joe Dooley making the point.
I'm glad to see the referee pick that up, a bit holding the shirt. I'm sure Daniel Cameron would have been making plenty of noise to make sure he knew he was holding the shirt there.
Down below us, Drew McNeil pacing away as well. Scottish manager, ever the tactician. Scotland pressing, but again, the Irish, they're beginning to play together now, moving in packs. Again, picked up the Scottish midfield. This is Bartlett. This is good play from the Caberfew man. What a ball into the mouth of the goal. But Dermody's on it, and he's in trouble here. He's had to play the ball. He's had to put it out for a corner. Well, he didn't have much option there. He thought the ball was going to run over.
Yeah, it just held up in the line. I'd say the Scotland's man of the match so far has to be Kevin Bartlett. He's taken his points. He's played fantastically well. He's a right live wire up there, and he's doing really, really well for Scotland.
Well, he's got 4 free hits so far, has Bartlett. This time, though, it's Finlay McRae from midfield, which is technically a corner. McRae with a huge hit. That's a beauty. The wind's holding it though. It's still in play. Oh, Dermody gets down on it quickly. Still live for Scotland here. Gary Innes. Oh, stopped on the line. No! What a chance for Scotland. And it's gone wide. It's Bartlett, unfortunately.
What was I saying about him there? Famous last words. Yeah, what a great opportunity. He just fell to him there. We get to a deflection. Here it is here. Just played back. Fell perfect to him there. He'll be disappointed with that.
Great shot of the ball, just flicking past the post. Snapshot, and again, this is John Barr. Well, you know, giving fouls away in a dangerous area like this at this stage in the match, Fraser, not good.
Yeah, but if you look at that, the passage of play before there was nothing different to that than what happened just a second before with Neil MacDonald. So Scotland will be disappointed for conceding a free there. This has to be charged down.
Well, it's Highland, Willie Highland of Laois.
Number 7, back you come, Scotland.
Scotland can charge this, and it's Finlay McRae who's going to put his body on the line. You'll see him run forward as soon as the Irishman touches the ball. There he goes, he blasts it. long, high and handsome. A point to Ireland then. Highland keeping the scoreboard ticking, Fraser.
Yeah, and with the wind, it's kind of ominous for Scotland. They need to get the ball in the net to have any chance of winning this series.
11-6 to Scotland. Through it goes. John Bught again. There's Gary Innes, turns. Not having his best game for Scotland so far, the former captain. There's McRae, he's all over the field, covering every inch of this Bught Park. And that's a loose swing, but Ian McDonald got away with it. Enough experience to turn there. Barr with another solid challenge. Norman Campbell. Oh, just a chance, half a chance for Bergen, but he's squirted it across the face of the goal. Ireland still with the ball. And again, big challenge and half a Caman, half an Irish stick there. Good challenge from Neil McDonald here.
Yeah, Neil just trying to put him under pressure there, just coming across him there. Yeah, he's giving the free hits, pulling him back as well.
And just an arm round the shoulders as well gives Highland another chance.
20 yards is just right here.
How often have we seen this? The Irish picking up the score. So 20 yards. Scots have packed the goal mouth in case he goes for a goal. But he's chipped it over. He's chipped it over from the ground. 2 points to Ireland. 11-8, Fraser.
Yeah, that's it's starting to look quite ominous for Scotland. I was quite surprised that he actually went for that there. He must have been quite confident of hitting it. I thought he would have just flicked it up and gone for the point.
Well, on the touchline, the Scottish goalkeeper is bringing himself back into play, I think. Just don't quite understand that, but let's see what happens. This is a good chance, though. McDonald, the Kyles man, just didn't quite get it through. Scotland just off the pace at the moment. Norman Campbell, the captain, gets things back to normal service. Midfield has gone missing here for Scotland. There are 3 Irishmen running the show at the moment. And that's, I think, gone wide. Yes, it has. Just midfield there, Fraser. They're running the show, the 3 of them.
Yeah, we shouldn't be dropping these balls into the midfield. We should be hitting them out wide. Stuart McIntosh coming back on. I'm not sure why they've made that decision, but they've got 2 very good goalkeepers there. Probably just to give Gavin Stobbart a run out, but Scotland need to be hitting these wide areas here.
And the autumn leaves are wheeling from left to right in the pitch, possibly not showing up on the screen quite as clearly in the not quite fading light yet, but it hasn't been as bright as it was at the start of the afternoon. Good ball out to McDonald, and he cleverly played for the foul there. He knew he'd get a push in the back. This is a chance for Bartlett. You fancy this one, Fraser?
Yeah, but he is against the wind this half, you know, but hopefully we can get another couple of points on the board. It'll lift Scotland, but they could really do with getting the ball in the net.
There's half an hour left of this challenge match, the second test between Scotland and Ireland. 11 points to 8, Scotland lead at this stage. Bartlett with 4 in the locker so far. That's another huge hit. That's another great blow. 2 points. Another 2 points to Bartlett. 13 to 8. His 5th conversion.
Yeah, Kevin Bartlett's just doing this single-handedly. You would have expected maybe Gary Innes to be the player that was doing these points, but no, Kevin Bartlett's been fantastic.
Here are the Irish again. Up it goes and wide it goes. Important, you just can't relax against the Irish attack, can you?
Not at all. The tempo of the game is really high tempo. The hurlers, as soon as the ball's over, you'll notice the goalkeeper have another ball in his hand and he'll have the ball at the other end of the park within seconds.
Well, it's 13 to 8 as it stands. 1 goal and 10 points to Scotland. 1 goal and 5 points to Ireland. So Scotland with a healthy lead, but Each goal, if it came to that, would take 3 points off it. Here's Barr running into trouble there. Norman Campbell. Poor clearance though to midfield to Highland, who has only one thing in his mind, and that's to fling it over the bar from open play. Another point to Ireland.
That's another ball straight down the centre of the park, and they've got the spare man in the centre there. It just had all the time in the world to hit that over.
Well, that's just too easy for Highland, and he's now in a bit of a personal duel, I suppose, with Bartlett in terms of the scoring stakes. But Highland is becoming a bit of a thorn in Scotland's flesh here. Here's McDonald. McDonald fires it in on Dermody, who blasts it out. And if it runs, no, the Irish keep it in play. This is the difference in the second half. And off they go. Now, this is a good piece, a good passage of Irish play. Michael Rice, the captain. What's he going to do? Is he going to go all the way? No, he'll take a point from open play. Michael Rice, the captain, makes it 13-10.
A great run from the Kilkenny man there, from way out, just soloing all the way in, cutting inside and then just cutting out and firing it over the top.
13-10, the Irish clawing back the difference on today. Up it goes again. Norman Campbell's below it with Barr, and Norman Campbell slashes it away. And again the Irish in the middle of the field there. I suppose it's a natural instinct to go all over the Scottish player. Arms round him again.
Yeah, always going to be a foul there. One hand on the player, one hand on his hurley.
Ian McDonald from Butte. From midfield, too far to have a go at goal, gets it out to Bartlett. Bartlett fires it across the goal. Roddy McDonald trying to run the ball down, but again the Irish get it away. Double marking in midfield. McRae out to the left to McRae. So Kinlochshiel at the moment. Again, the Scottish hunting well in packs. They seem to have stemmed the tide. Here's Gary Innes. Innes, let's fly. Innes, let's fly. Midfield, that's from open play. Gary Innes has added to his remarkable tally of points for Scotland.
Yeah, that'll do Gary the world of good. He's missed a few threes. That'll do him the world of good, firing that over from there and give Scotland a lift.
Just shows you what a natty helmet will do. It's time he got himself on the score sheet again. He's just not been in the game as much as you would have expected. There's Ian McDonald beginning to make his mark in midfield. Just getting stronger as the game goes on here. Here's Bartlett. Looks like he's been playing this for years instead of being a debutant. And again, whip, away it goes. This is where the Scots have to dig deep. The rain has come from left to right, so they've got that in their face. They've got the wind in their faces, and they've got an increasingly strong looking Irish team. You can see the spots of rain on the cameras from the touchline. Well, a bit of a nuance in the rule. If you move it 6 inches, let's see what happens. He just turns round the other way. Highland drops it short that time. Well, he had to make an adjustment there that possibly didn't help.
Yeah, I was surprised that the linesman actually asked him to do that, because it's part of the game that it does get taken in a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was obviously looked quite confident for cutting it in from that distance, and he's failed with his shot there.
Well, maybe the linesman did Scotland a favour unintentionally there. Over on the far side in front of a pretty full Buck Park stand, I have to say. And a good sprinkling of people round the ground, getting very wet now. And that's a good ball, but it's wide. It's another chance, but again you see how the pressure is building. It's all about momentum for the Irish, isn't it?
Yeah, Scotland aren't helping themselves. They're dropping these balls into the half-back area where there's one, the Irish half-back and he's finding it easy. He just picks the ball up, steps forward and tries from distance. We need to be getting these balls right out into the wide areas.
Innes. John Stewart chasing. That's wonderful play. But into the middle. It's not a good area because that's where the Scots have been strong. And David Mitchell has given McRae a bit of a challenge here, Fraser, against the wind. He's put in some big ones.
Yeah, he might struggle to find the distance here, but it should still allow us to get an opportunity.
McRae from midfield, up and wide, and that would have had the legs if it was direct enough.
Yeah, he did find the distance there, but just slightly off.
The game is on. The Irish don't hang about. You just can't take your eye off it because their natural inclination is to build up the pace of the game as we head for the final quarter. Well taken in the Scottish defence. Oh, and just a wee kick there. Sharp refereeing. Just, well, he was unfortunate there, Fraser.
Yeah, pretty good control, but wrong game.
Nice touch, and Ian McDonald with an even better one away out to Bartlett, who takes it for a run towards the BBC gazebo. And unfortunately, just a little bit too far. He just about got Jonathan Sutherland involved there at one point.
He's the player that we need to be getting involved in the game as much as we can, because he's been very influential in the game, and we need to try and get him into play as much as we can.
We have a substitution about to take place for Scotland. That's a good tackle by McLeod to his fellow Kyle's man, Roddy McDonald. He had a good swing at it, but he didn't quite connect. He's done better here, though, because he's won a hit in. Now, this is a good position, and already here's the substitution for Scotland. Number 16, Andrew Corrigan, coming on for Gary Innes. That's a bit of pace coming on there. I'm not saying Gary's slow, but Corrigan's fleet of foot.
Yeah, Andrew is a very pacey player, and he's added to his game. He's got a sort of hardness to his game this last wee while, where last maybe year or two, where his tackling has improved to no end.
The bird's eye view from our presenter as Bartlett flings it in and flings it wide, but it's still in play. And Scotland appealing. Well, you just don't stand appealing, because if the referee doesn't blow his whistle, it's not enough. Here's Corrigan. Immediate impact, but straight to an Irish player who flings it back with interest. Barr misses that one. This is dangerous. Oh, a snapshot by Hyland. They've pushed Hyland forward here.
Yeah, he is a very skillful player. I noticed that in the game over in Athy. He was very creative from the centre of the park. But he's doing very well. He's got quite a few points. This could be a good thing for Scotland. I think it's Brendan Maher that's picked up an injury here, and he's been influential from the half-back position. But as I said before, Scotland aren't hurting themselves by dropping the ball onto him. You've seen when we get balls into wide areas for the likes of Kevin Bartlett and Keith McRae, we do look dangerous. Keith McRae made a wee mistake there by not going after the ball when he thought it was a kick.
Well, Maher is one of Tipperary's up-and-coming players. He's won one All-Star Young Hurler of the Year award, so he's well worthy of his place at the heart of the Irish defence here. Scotland just regrouping, and it's a critical point in the game just after the hour. 14 points to 10. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it, and this game and the series is still here to be won by the blue or by the green. In midfield, it will be won or lost, because they're the guys who supply the ammo And here it comes again. Look at that. That's a huge hit from the Irish. That's another point. That's a point from open play to Ireland. From the middle of the field. 14-11. Look at that, launched from the very middle. The captain, Michael Rice. Michael Rice of Kilkenny. That's what you want your captain to be doing. Leading by example. 14-11. It's just a feeling the game could be slipping away from Scotland unless they get another score. Barr runs into trouble. Highland. Norman Campbell. That's what the Scottish captain needs to be doing. In midfield, the Irish have lined up 3 players. Here's another shot on goal. McIntosh has to be very careful here. He had his eye on it, but it wasn't far away.
Again, it was the same player taking a step forward and firing it from distance. I wouldn't be surprised, but Scotland might make a tactical switch soon and go to a 3 across the centre and push the other man onto the spare man that's at the back, onto Brendan Faha, because Scotland have really got to go for it now.
The ball goes out. Now that's a loose ball from Norman Campbell, acknowledged there. He knows he should have kept that in play. Scotland need to keep the ball in play. Furrowed brow. Another substitution from Ireland just below us here. Meanwhile, the bird's eye view of Maher. He won't be quite as used as he would like to the short grass of the Bught Park. That explains why he couldn't lift the ball, because normally he would get his Caman underneath. And Scotland will be making more changes. Robbie McLeod on a wild swing by Bartlett, just a bit of inexperience showing. Here's the Irish charge again, firing it in but wide. It's this thing of picking up the ball in midfield. The only way to stop it is head on, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to get tight to them. Our organisation has to be really good, and you have to get tight, close them down, not give them a chance to step forward and get a shot. Try and drive them into wider areas to cut the angles down. I'm noticing Mark Sproul has just come back on for Scotland with Robbie McLeod of Kyles coming off.
Well, it's a fearsome sight, the Irishman in full flow, but a wonderful sight. Fantastic display of athleticism as the game goes on. They just seem to grow stronger, and their eye becomes sharper, because I'm sure it's taken them a while to adjust. Here we go again. Look at this. This is wonderful play in midfield, and it's just impossible to get the ball off them when they start. This is exhibition stuff from Highland, but he's wide again. He's the pick of the bunch now, isn't he, Fraser, really?
Yeah, he's having a very influential game there. Finlay McRae tried to step onto him, but once they start soloing, they can change direction. It can put you off quite easily, and you see that there where he's just changed direction, knocked it in, and it's just wide.
And it's not all about power, it's about pace and balance, all the rest of it. It's a perfect machine, the Irish hurler, in full flow. Here's Bartlett sticking with it. Roddy McDonnell comes back. Better from Scotland in midfield, a better challenge. Doesn't quite reach John Stewart. It might come through eventually, but doesn't. Here's Norman Campbell driving out, but a mistake by the captain, and a mistake by Joe Bergen, who's had his moments, but it's not quite come off for Bergen.
Yeah, he got the goal in the first half. He was pretty unlucky there. Just as the ball broke forward, I think it was John Barr that put enough pressure on Joe Bergen just to knock it wide.
It's been an expensive weekend for the Irish so far in terms of sticks broken. I lost count a long time ago. But, certainly a fair bit of timber left on the Bught Park this afternoon. Another change there. And this time it's plenty more to choose from. Each one better than the last. Now, will Finlay McRae's effort be better than the last? Off it goes to the left of the posts. John Stewart's underneath it. And again the Irish put it out, and Bartlett, look at Bartlett go. Nobody's going to take the ball off him. He's only one thing in mind: give me the ball. Fantastic confidence for a young player. Yeah, he's done very well. Said it quite a few times during the game. You know, he's got his feathers up, he's got his confidence, and that's exactly who should be taking this free. He's scored 5 so far. Mike, the groundsman, will not be best pleased with the agricultural efforts. But let's see where this one ends up. He's just shaved too much off it. Yeah, difficult against the wind though. Yeah, the wind is playing a very big part in this game. The two things, the wind and the referee's interpretation of the rules as the game goes on, because players will get fatigued, they'll start going charging into tackles, so his interpretation of it plays a big part as well. And the Irish finding more space in midfield, as you say that. McIntosh, well, there was a call, leave it. Well, it eventually fell to Ian MacDonald, and he's put it out for a corner. Difficult ball to deal with. Yeah, dropped in there. Stewart did very well, and I think Ian probably thinking he was playing Shinty there, just knocking it wide. He'll be disappointed. He should have turned and lashed it up the park. So the corner, of course, is taken from midfield, just like rugby, in line with where it crossed the line. So Highland has a chance to get Ireland back. Up it goes, over it goes, home and true. That's another point to Ireland and to Highland. 14-12. Yeah, just he picked it up there. Mark Sproul was actually very unlucky there. He charged it down very well, and he was a bit unlucky that he never got a bit of a contact on it. Scotland need to step up the pace. There are 12 minutes left. And they need to score. Clock ticking away. Here's Norman Campbell. Give it a blast. Big Norm, he's not had his best afternoon. He's had a very good first half, and it's been difficult in the second half. John Stewart. Now, what can Stewart do with this? Just not given any space there. The Irish are crowding the Scots in the same way as Scotland crowded the Irish in the first half. Ian MacDonald looking for Gary Innes. Just a little bit of tiredness creeping in as well. And again, Finlay McRae swinging through the player. Yeah, the game's starting to slip away from Scotland here. Mark Sproul missing the ball just before that run of play there, and then Finlay giving away the foul. It is starting to run away from us now. Highland again. Scotland can charge this from 20 yards. 10 minutes, 10 critical minutes for this series to be decided. Highland sends it long, sends it wide. Lucky break for Scotland. Yeah, I think we actually got a lucky break with the distance the Scotland players were away from that free. I noticed Mark Sproul had come to the side. They've gone 2 men to allow them to charge it down, and they were very close, and it worked. It put them off. Well, it's all part of the game. And Norman Campbell sends it long again, keeps it in play this time, and off it goes. Well, he's going to get another chance, because that's a wasted ball from the Irish. They're just not getting it past midfield, Scotland, at the moment. Yeah, it's the same thing. We need to get it. I've said it many times during the game that the wide areas, if we can get it down and cut that in from angles, we'll have better chances of getting a goal-scoring opportunity, because the hurlers find that hard to deal with. Norman Campbell digging deep against the rain, just driving from left to right in Ireland's favour at the moment. John Stewart on the chase. He'll want to keep it in play. He doesn't want to give a foul away. Gary Innes gets it through. Again, That's a well stopped though. Sproul, but he doesn't get it far enough. The Irish get it away. Here's Norman Campbell though. Oh, hit his own man with that one. Oh. And a kick there. Well, that's a bit of fortune to Scotland, because in midfield they have a platform to attack. And I wouldn't be surprised if Norman Campbell steps forward. Now, he's not going to have a shot at goal. That would be, quite frankly, outrageous if he was even to think about it. But he'll want to get this, where do you think, out to the wing, Fraser?
Well, he might just drop it in front to try and give us a goal-scoring opportunity. Andrew Corrigan did very well to win that free hit there. He was brave in the tackle. He took a bit of a slap with a hurl, but he's done very well. So Scotland will either play it out into the wing to run for their wings to run onto, or they'll just drop it in front of the goal and try and get a goal-scoring opportunity.
So as things stand, Scotland could still win this series, but I suspect this is not the end of the matter. It's a great ball from Norman Campbell, but again, Scotland going into the box before the ball. You just can't afford to give that away, can you, Fraser, at this stage of the game? Yeah,
forwards losing their focus there, just following the flight of the ball and not watching where they were going, and an opportunity gone. They really need to focus for the tail end of the game.
The goal judge, Graham McMillan, there lifting his flag, quite clear, offside. Meanwhile, the ball is at the other end and Norman Campbell is doing the business. Sproul is there, good challenge. Back comes Roddy McDonald. Maybe that's what they need to do to bring the Kyles man into midfield, get some of his long legs going. National Player of the Year award last night. I'm sure it's the last thing in his mind, but here's McRae. Well closed. That's the difference for me in the second half, the way the Irish have closed down the Scottish players. They haven't given them any room. Norman Campbell, well, a bit of an ambitious swing there. He still gets away with it. Oh, 2 goes at it eventually. Here we go again, the ball and the stick, danger for Scotland. And wide. And wide. They're living on borrowed time here, Fraser.
Scotland sure are. They really need to up their game here. They're second to a lot of balls. It's really a struggle now for them, but you know, you never know which way this game's going to swing. Not long to go now.
There are 6 minutes to go, to be precise, in the gathering gloom of this autumn weekend in Inverness, and nobody will be putting their clock back until this one's finished, as the crowd raises the tempo and the temperature on the far side, with Innes galloping forward. Must have his own fan club in the stand. Here's Bartlett. Bartlett fires it forward. Dermody, though, they want to keep it in play. They want to keep it in play to create more chances. 14-12. There are only 2 points in it.
Kevin Bartlett driving forward there again, just pulling it wide. He's had a very good game so far.
Meanwhile, the Irish haven't given up on this match. Never mind the series, because it ain't over till it's finished. Here's Scotland again, down the left-hand side, just below us. 5 minutes to go.
On you go.
It's still Scotland's series if the score remains as it is. It's that tight. There is no margin for error, however. McIntosh waits. Oh, and he's dropped it. It's gone over his head. I think that is in the net. But, well, there is uncertainty here. For me, now this is crucial. This is a really big decision, because if this is a goal, the Irish have a bonus point. Let's watch it. The ball drops. McIntosh gets his hand. That, for me, is a goal.
I think the player's offside there. You can see the player was offside, but the referee looks like he's given the goal, is he? No, he's not. It's been disallowed, and rightfully disallowed.
Well, I think the referee is taking the ball back to the middle. David Mitchell has given the goal because he's restarting the game. So it's a goal to Ireland, and crucially, that has given them a bonus point for the 2 goals. Well, I know it's complicated, but it's now, in the blink of an eye, Ireland have taken the lead by 14 points to 15. Well, we'll have to have a look back at it just to make sure who it was who launched that ball, but it goes down as a mistake to the keeper.
It looked like the goal judge had disallowed it, and I don't know how the referee has overruled it from where he was standing. That is definitely not a goal.
Well, it's a goal as far as David Mitchell is concerned, and the score sheet shows Ireland have 2 goals and 9 points, which gives them the bonus, which has turned the match and the series in their favour. And David Mitchell, we will remember, was involved in controversy before about a penalty late in the game. There are 3 minutes left for Scotland to retrieve this. Gary Innes. Innes brought down. A free hit to Scotland.
Playing without his stick. Playing without the stick on the ground. He stopped down man.
We've got the calculator out, and we think Scotland need to win by something like 6 points here.
Scotland need to go for goal here. There's no point going for the points over the bar. They need to try and get the
Another
goal.
goal will win it for Scotland, because the extra goal will make all the difference. Bartlett needs to get this on goal. He needs to go for goal here. And that's what he's done. He's fired it in along the ground. Scotland still have it. A goal to Scotland would turn this round. Bartlett gets it across. It's wide. 2 minutes left.
I said before, the influence that the referee can make in a game. I think he's dropped a bit of a clanger there. He did my last game as international manager, and that seemed to have mistaken a penalty as well. So I know Drew and Kenny will be very disappointed with that.
Well, it's worked out in Ireland's favour at the very, very last stages of this match. A minute and a half left. Scotland desperately need a goal. They desperately need a goal to save this, because that's all it would take. They need the ball up the other end. The Irish have got a bonus point because of their second goal, which, in addition to last week, down to the left, we understand there will be a minute of added time. In it comes from Scotland. Can they get it on the goal? Because the goal would clinch it for them. Scotland driving forward. Still a chance. Bartlett to Gary Innes. Oh, and Innes, he had half a chance there. It's a corner to Scotland. It was more than half a chance, Fraser.
Oh, what an opportunity. It just fell to him perfectly to get a shot on target and just hit the player. Really unlucky.
That's great defence. Great defence from Ireland. 30 seconds, the referee says. There are 30 seconds left, and that's in regular time. I'm not quite sure if that takes in the minute extra. It must do, because that's just about full time. We have 1 minute of injury time. Up it goes from Scotland. They need the goal to get the bonus point. Barr has moved forward. Ireland know that they can still hold on here. They'll throw everything at it. Gary Innes, up it goes. It's another corner, another corner. Surely the last chance to Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland they shouldn't bunch it here. You've seen a lot of the forwards are pushing right into the edge of the area. If they can get a bit of width and be running in when the ball's hit, rather than just a static start.
Now, it's a case of who is going to go for glory here. The Irish can pack as many men as they want on the line. Up it goes from Ian MacDonald. It's too far, is it? It's too far, it's wide. Oh dear. That, to me, could be Scotland's last chance, because it had to be kept in play. And Ian MacDonald knows he may have passed up Scotland's last chance. All eyes are on David Mitchell, the referee. At the other end, Bergen breaks. Scotland need this ball up the other end, because it is too late for Scotland. It is too late for Scotland, because the Irish have done the business at the very last closing period of what has been another titanic struggle between Scotland and Ireland.